Hello everyone. Today I am going to dictate you the passage number 61 of Modern Volume 3. 5 seconds to go. Mr. Vice Chairman Sir, I rise to support the Land Acquisition Bill moved by the Honorable Rural Development Minister. I support this bill because no government in the world, except a few countries like China, acquires land for private purpose. I support this because Andhra Pradesh is one such state which has suffered a lot due to this practice. The state government from 2004 onwards has rampantly acquired lakhs of acres of land, including multi crop irrigated land, for private parties without giving adequate compensation and against the wishes of the landowners and the farmers. So I think this bill is in the right direction, as this bill prevents government from acquiring land for private purposes. Sir, the way the Supreme Court has recently directed the West Bengal government to return land acquired at Singur for Tatas, the land acquired by government of Andhra Pradesh on behalf of private parties should also be returned to landowners and farmers immediately. The second point that I wish to make is that this bill allows acquisition of multi-crop irrigated land. It says that if the net sown area is less than 50% in a district, then bill permits to acquire 10% of land. It is not acceptable. Sir, the agricultural production is less than 4% in the country, and the productivity of land in India is extremely low. As compared to China, India's productivity is 55% in case of wheat, 51% in case of rice, 45% for oilseeds, and 29% in case of coarse grain. The figures are much worse when we compare it to the most efficient producers in the world. By converting multi crop irrigated land even as a last resort, we will not only lose productivity but also fertile land. The bill permits to acquire 5% of irrigated land for diversion to commercial purposes. It is the recommendation of the standing committee, and the government is taking shelter under this, which is not proper. So, I strongly demand that no irrigated land should be diverted for other purposes, as we need to increase the production and productivity of food grains. This becomes more important after the passage of the Food Security Bill. Secondly, Clause 95 of the bill permits the government to keep unutilized land for 10 years in a land bank. I ask why that should be kept in land bank. I propose that either this should be returned back to the landowners, or the period should be reduced to at least 5 years, or alternatively it should be re-allotted to others for exactly similar purpose. I think only then the objective of such acquisition is fulfilled. Then, Mr. Vice Chairman Sir, I would like to draw your attention to social impact assessment reports and mandatory rehabilitation and resettlement programs. Here you are mandating these social impact assessment reports to be later reviewed by an expert committee, followed by a government survey, and finally followed by actual acquisition proceedings. After that, any decisions can then be challenged in the courts. Does such procedures not delay industrialization and urbanization and hamper the growth trajectory of the country? If so, I would like to know how the Honorable Minister is planning to reconcile both the things. The next point that I wish to raise in this matter is relating to jurisdiction of Parliament to make laws on transactions between private parties. I fail to understand that how Parliament can make laws to oversee resettlement and rehabilitation on purchase of agricultural land through private negotiations. The Honorable Minister is saying that Union derives its power to make laws on acquisition and requisition of property from item 42 of the concurrent list. Further, transfer of property other than agricultural land, registration of documents and deeds is included in item number 6 of the concurrent list. However, transfer and alienation of agricultural land is included in item number 18 of the state list. So, rehabilitation and resettlement arises out of transfer of agricultural land, and therefore the issue falls within the sole jurisdiction of state legislatures. It does not fall under the residuary power provided under item number 97 of Union list. Hence, I feel that Parliament has no jurisdiction to legislate on this. Secondly, there is a possible circumvention of resettlement and rehabilitation requirements. For example, suppose a private company acquires or purchases multiple parcels of land below 50 acres in urban areas or 100 acres in rural areas to escape from rehabilitation and resettlement. In such a scenario, how the government will protect the interests of affected parties? So, for consideration of the Honorable Minister, I suggest to remove the cap. Thank you.